big fella, but he'll try. And this is his yard. Ain't nothing animal friendly. Huss. 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 Ain't nothing animal friendly. He know who this is his yard. Tudors don't stand a chance around here. I don't know what they're talking about. See, they know about the first, they know Eli and watchdog breedings are ancient. They know watchdog and Kobe breedings are ancient. They know about Tabor's Russet and Tabor's Bear, the first watchdog and Eli breeding, which involved Crutchfield and Adams art, which made Molly B, which we have the Blue Rowdy Dog, and Turpin's, if I've said that right, Turnipin's Blue Trouble. So they know. It's just that people didn't run Rascal and Red Boy and Gator and Jeep and Eli Bully Son and Junior in the ground. You know, shout out to the dealers, the kennel dealers and, you know, the dog breeders who found other ways to get the Yellow John. They didn't just run the same ground in the blood. And some of those dogs are ran through big dogs. You know, common sense will tell me that Oklahoma Tudor, the Oklahoma Kid, I am Spank Tudor, the Oklahoma Kid dealt in game staffs. Staffordshires, if you want to call them game staffs. So while he was the grandson of an immigrant first and foremost, he dealt in game staffs, he dealt in chickens, and he dealt in pit bull game dogs. They are so mad. People like Southern Little J, Triple J's. That's why his dogs don't look nothing like Hensel's, because they bred away from that. But it's other country boys that did not run those lines around. You know what I'm saying? That's why they hate Sammy the Arab. Sammy the Arab, he had a lot of dogs, just like Earl Tudor and a lot of the dog men of old. And he got wrong marriage. So that's another one of the breeders they hate, Sammy the Arab. Salute Sammy the Arab. No matter how many dogs you bought, Puny K9 talking about, that was a part of the game. You found a lane for Red Boy and you ran with it. Good job with Boomerang and all those dogs that came off that line. You know what I'm saying? You got your registered merit. You know what I'm saying? I got this, man. But back to Southern Triple J's, it's undeniable that Tudor dealt in staffs. You have a 60-pound dog on your yard, true indeed. But in the day, for the breeders that you're talking about, because Hensel was a student and a pupil of Mr. Tudor, just as Peterson and those guys were pupils and students and fellow breeders of Mr. Hemphill and Mr. Wilder. So if you look in the back of all game dog pairs, they come back to Staffordshire. Like I was telling Puny K9 with the Red Boy line, that stuff dates back to Tudor and Hemphill bred red staffs. So nobody's trying to be trapped in the 20s, but you got to come out the woods at some time or another. You know what I'm saying? Y'all done ran those lines in the ground. Look at them eating grass. Jeep, Red Boy, Rascal, Gator, and all those lines, which not for nothing, Gator and Jeep have Kobe descent. Mr. Tills dealt in Kobe staffs. Okay, the Lupaces dealt in Kobe staffs. Why do you think Lupace's Buster is a gorgeous dog? That dog was not bred for beauty or looks or show dog, but it is a drop dead gorgeous dead gang animal. That's what it was about. It wasn't about running the same dog bloodlines in the ground. Their teeth fall out. The ones that live, they deep game. Some of them are not or whatever. They good dogs, but they look like hound dogs. That's why you don't see the Galites. That's why you don't see the pinchers. Kobe's pincher was 75 pounds, 56 pounds conditioned weight. That's the game. That's not living in the 20s. There's a lot of guys that deal in watchdogs and Kobe's because of the deep gameness and the classic look. A watchdog and a Kobe will have a chance at looking like Galite or Tudor's Jeff or those type dogs from that classic old time because of the repeated breedings. Now, Mr. Triple J's, with all due respect, country boy, you know who Casey Couturier is. You know who CC is. Come on now, you know who Benji Reyes is. You're knocking the game in a sense. You're smacking the game like I told y'all. That's y'all that's smacking the game. Y'all are incorporating the umbrella to fancy the same old lines. The same old lines, the teeth falling out the dogs. The dogs look like hound dogs. They don't look nothing like Hensel stock. Hensel stock came from big dogs. The Oklahoma Kid, I am Spank Tudor, the Oklahoma Kid dealt in staffs, period. If you want to call them am staffs or what. Those guys, they didn't go by the standards. If they went by the standards, you guys would not be chasing Red Boy and Gator into the ground. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. The prototype of the pit dog was the Staffordshire Colby. Huss. Huss. He eating grass right now. Huss. Huss. He always try to get this cat. It ain't no big deal. He can't get it. The cat knows that. But he'll try all night. But you know, it's like a guy said online about his Kobe and watchdog breed. There are game lines and there is game blood and there are game dogs. Catch weight was a part of the game. You know, Earl Tudor was involved in catch weight. Catch weight has two meanings. Come on now. Let's be real about this. You heard of Tabor's Rusty and Tabor's Bear. You know about those breedings. You know people bred watchdogs and Kobe's. You know what watchdogs were known to do in the woods. Come on, you smacking the game. Come on now. What's this, Bolio versus Debo? Come on, I dealt with both of them. I dealt with both of them, country boy. Come on, let's be real about this. Now, Clyde Mason and the old master, and I'm sorry about calling Clyde Mason the old man. That's the old teacher. I'm sorry about that. The old teacher and the old master did not breed into band dogs or bullies. Now, you know Casey Couturier was one of the ones, the good ones, the old timers that stuck with staff breedings. Patrick's Blitz and Mason Hammer, those dogs existed. They bred into top staff. That's in the books. Why do people hate what's in the books? All the pairs are not home. See, all that going away now. All the pairs are not home. The game is being home all the way. It's already shut down. That's why the dog's in trouble now. People won't tell the true origins of the dogs to fancy the dogs they want to say. Now, to my knowledge, Schoolboy Garcia, respect, never bred into Am Bulls. I never knew that. I never knew that. So it's cool. I know I'm one of the ones in the chat that you were talking about. I'm not trying to make a living off YouTube and dogs. The truth will always be, and that's about the pit bull breed. You keep saying that the history is not known and it's all myths and fables. Nah, the world has been ran off that ideology of myths and fables. But not to get into that. Watchdog bloodline is solidified, country boy, in the books. You know, people know Casey Couturier now. I hate to be this way, but as I look through the pairs, as the paired rat I am, don't see the register of merit from guys like you and Puny K9. I don't see it. I see guys like Benji Reyes, not saying with merit, but in substantial breedings. My pairs say that a heavy Tance dog named Dino sired a heavy Hemp Hill and Wilder dog named Cox Red Rum. It is what it is. There is no Am Bull in it. Just because people tell the truth about the Staffordshire Colby and the existence of the big game dog, which catch weight has two meanings, you know that, sir. You are a country man. You are from the Southeast. You can't be from North Carolina. No disrespect. You're not even from Virginia. You might be from Virginia. I don't know. I don't know where you're from in the Southeast. The Southeast, they incorporate a few states in that in different categories. So that can vary. You might be from Mississippi. But I'm from NC the game. And it is what it is with me. I'm not trying to have a big televangelist style following or anything like that. I just chimed in about the dogs. And I've been called a school bus head. I've been called a thick skull. I've been called a lot of things, a toolbox. I like that name. Every working man should have a toolbox. There's mine. So I'm not knocking that. I'm not doing this for views. This is about NC the game. It's over for falsehood and secrets. That's for sorority girls. Let's tell the whole truth about it. Tudor's Jeff, bad example. Every pit game dog, big and small, should have Tudor's Jeff in his lineage. Now, if not, then I don't know what to tell that person or that fancier. I'll repeat that again. Any good dog should have Tudor's Jeff in his lineage. Bad example. This dog here has Tudor's Jeff in his lineage. So again, if you want to say that Patrick bred Am Bulls, I know Am Bulls are being made with that blood. Well, my pedigree feels satisfies me to the point of knowledge that I know that my dog is not affiliated in any of those breedings. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of this stuff dates back to the notorious Juan Gotti, but that's another story. Like I said, that might be a story for you to cover. You know what I'm saying? The excessive breeding of the notorious Juan Gotti, who it was a big hissy fit. It's not a staff. It's not a pit bull and a staff. It don't count. We hate the fact that it was a dog that was at its time it was unheard of. That it was $1,200 or $2,500 a stud fee, whatever it was. So that's where all this stems from. Like I said, it's with the Am staff and the American Bully. But like I said, I was telling one of your guys on your network, I'm satisfied with Patrick being a part of my dog breed. And shout out to RDGs, Pit Bulls, you know what I'm saying? Benji Reyes, you know, Bryant's Red Devil, guys like that. Again, Schoolboy Garcia, can't say that enough. So these were true game dog men, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure you are respected. You have good tips on your shows and stuff like that, but look at them trying to get out. The truth will always be, man. The truth will always be. Patrick's Blitz and Mason's Hammer were good game dogs that were involved in staff breeding, that involved Casey Couturier. Your people in your on your site that are just learning how to read a pedigree and just getting familiar with the dog, even they know who Casey Couturier is. Anybody that can read a pedigree knows about CC. Alex Padilla had good dogs too, so it's just that their breedings that involve staff bolio breedings. The pedigree for that is APBT Online Pedigrees. Casey Couturier's Blue Max 2. Good looking dog. I'm sorry it's blue. You know what I'm saying? Blue dogs exist too. You know, I know it's a fraternity or a sorority, but enough with the secrets. There's no secrets in the dog game, man. It's just that some people just did not come out of the woods for chasing Red Boy, Jocko, Yellow John, Rascal, Eli, and a lot of other dogs that are in big game dogs pedigree. Country boys that kept the fast lane going and all the other you know, activities going, you know, that involve the breeding of those gorgeous animals. And for example, my dog Gumbo Pot, he has Yellow John in his blood, but he wasn't chased in the pedigree to have Yellow John in his blood. My dog Top Size Sire is off of a heavy Yellow John dog is in his top side of his pedigree, right under the some of those Garcia Preacher Man breedings. Garcia Scorpion Max 2 is also close to my dog's pedigree. So there are no slouches in my dog's pedigree. So if you all want to label dogs and Am Bulls and stuff like that, well, the pedigrees speak for themselves. And no, all pedigrees are not home. I don't know why you and Puny K9 feel like everybody's peds are home. And yes, Maurice Carver home peds with Staffordshires himself. Those stories exist with him and the Harwin woman. She gave him all the animal aggressive Staffordshires. That whole circle of people are not lying. Indian Sonny had Staffordshires on the yard. Cut my light on. Indian Sonny had Staffordshires on the yard. That whole circle of people are not lying, Mr. Southern Triple J's, with all due respect. Because I know I'm one of the thick skulls, not trying to receive recognition for being called a thick skull, because I'm not the only one who expressed the same ideas on that chat line. But I would stay off your chat forum Mr. Triple Southern J. You're a country boy from somewhere in the southeast, and I respect that. You have good-looking dogs. You have great tips, and you just running, living the country boy farm life. I get that part, but it is what it is, man. You know, the APBT watch line bloodline still exists, like I always say, in the hands of a good dog man. You know what I'm saying? They're in the hands of good dog men all over the South. Mr. Triple J, you know that. It ain't no hard feelings, sir. Ain't no hard feelings, but there is a reason why your dogs don't like to hunt Hensel dogs. Just like that dog you try to breed the dogs to look like Hubbard's Gimp and Hubbard's Bounce and those dogs like that. And those dogs came off of huge dogs. Mr. Howard, as you said, he understood that. The only thing that separated the breed was the standard, not so much the breeding. The breeding eventually came. The Staffordshire was never bred out of the umbrella. Casey Couture knows that. The old master, Maurice Carver and family, they knew that. So who's really disrespecting the pit dog game? Is it me or you? Because it seems like to me, it's a Debo Bolio thing. I'm sorry to tell you, according to pedigree and according to pictures in the pedigrees, I'm sorry, the Debo line, which really comes from Arizona, I've told the story about that. That's American game dog history. The dog was stolen anyway. As far as guys on Puny Canine line on his channel crying about if Indian Sonny had dogs that were stolen, the game was nearly taken from Indian Sonny when the stealing of Bolio happened. Okay? He still had outcross dogs off of Bolio that were sister brothers and stuff like that off of Bolio, and those dogs, according to the Fitzpatrick and the guys in those circles and stuff like that were still around, those dogs were equivalent to Bolio. So as far as people on Puny Canine crying about if Indian Sonny did have dogs on the yard that were not his, okay, the whole game, like, what if Bolio wasn't even in his name? Then look what happened. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to Indian Sonny. Guess what? He too has Staffordshires on the yard. Ladies and gentlemen, Bulldoggers, athlete, pro athlete, sports game dog lovers. There's no denying the PEDs. Read the PEDs for yourself. Be approved. Like they say, do your research. Don't y'all know that the Red Boy, Gator, and Jeep have origins of Tills and Lupace's Kobe's? Did you guys know that? Do you guys want to accept that? I'll repeat again. According to pedigree, pedigree is over standard. Basically, if you want to look at it like that, separate the breed, Jeep and Kobe, I'm sorry, Jeep and Gator, his double grandson, I know the pairs, his double grandson, they have just as much or more Tills, Lupace, Kobe, Staffordshire in their breeding, as does Red Boy. So stop trying to separate the breed as a whole. They did not do it back in the day. It couldn't be done. It could not be done. Mrs. Triple J, you know what game blood is, and you know what a game dog is. We all do. I'm from NC the Game. Come on now. No disrespect to you, partner. Come on now, country boy. This is NC talking now. But let's get to the facts, man. We can go with facts over the obvious facts. The obvious partial facts will never go over the truth. The catch-weight pit bull game existed. That's why Tabor's Rusty went into Tabor's Bear. It was a popular watchdog champion in that breeding, along with Grand Champion Crutchfield and Adams Art. Sir, you know this. You know old school watchdog bloodline has been crossed with Kobe and Eli and will continue to be done so for decades and decades. You know the damage that stuff done in the woods. You see what my dog's bloodline got in the woods. That's off of Padilla Schuyler, sir. I'm sorry. Bolio is in Skylar's pedigree, along with Bull Boy Rom, along with Mason's Hammer and Patrick's Blitz, Kingfish, Peanut, and guys like that. Dogs like that, good dogs. Anybody that looks at a picture of Plumber's Alligator and said that that dog has not been involved in some type of staff breeding does not need to call themselves a bulldogger. I repeat, anybody who looks at a pedigree picture of Plumber's Alligator, which this dog is kin to by nigger of gator, the dog is not going to be 30 pounds. Somebody bred a small dog with a big dog. Don't y'all know Turtle Buster had big and small offspring? Come on now. Let's be real. Let's be real about this, man. Let's be real about this, man. Let's be real about this. Let's be real about the breed for the game. NC the game. I'm not trying to say there are mad fighting game staffs around, but you know there was a first staff, there were staff champions in the pit here, sir. You heard of Rosemary, the first staff champion. Come on now. You heard of Ruffian, champion expert. Sir, you've heard of Gas House and Armitegs. Nobody's trapped in the 20s. People just want dogs that look like they're from the 20s. Everybody doesn't want the typical standard that you guys chased. The guys that y'all idolized did not chase that standard. The breeding, however, the Amstaff, the Staffy Bull Terrier, the Kobe, the White Terrier, which is for the most part extinct, unless it's with mad health issues, pretty much extinct, that fused the Pit Bull what we know today. Let me get on the Kobe part. First of all, the Kobe is the first pit bull prototype that came in America. The pit dog that y'all trying to breed and take the big dog out the breedings with dogs with no big hearts and stuff like that. I'm sorry to say those dogs were already over there. The American pit bull really never existed. It exists as far as a standard. Y'all cannot let go of standard. Earl Tudor did not care about standard. He didn't care about standard. I've read the history of the man. I'm sorry. Game dog history proves that you are not telling the whole story, sir. Earl Tudor was not chasing standard. If he was chasing standard, why is Blackjack Jr. that you want to disregard as a pit dog listed as chain weight big, B-I-G, by Earl Tudor, big, in big bold letters. His condition weight is listed as catch weight. The first catch weight champion that got off the boat in America, I don't care if it was 1980, it happened. It was a Gas House dog. That dog was 105 pounds. I repeat, the first catch weight champion that got off the boat in the United States of America. Red, white, and blue. That dog was 105 pounds. Catch weight has more than one meaning. Catch weight was a part of the game. Big pit dogs were a part of the game. Period. Nobody is trying to live in the 20s and hold on to the Amstaff or the old school Staffordshire. The truth is about those dogs, the paperwork and word of mouth, and people run their mouth and being egregious towards the Amstaff or the pit bull did not stop the breeding of those dogs, and it did not stop the umbrella. And that's what you guys do not understand. That's why I always tell you, I can't even get into it with you guys. I still got water stashed in the woods from 95, man. I'm not going to argue with you guys, man. So, you the one that's killing the game. That's you killing the game. Y'all don't never direct that stuff to Mr. Patrick. Because he know that Blue came through his line of dogs. Him and Mason. Carver was in those breedings as well in the beginning with the old teacher. So that's y'all disrespecting the pit game. I just named pillars in that game. You can't sit here and say a watchdog, an old school watchdog, bred in the hands of a good dog men like Alex Padilla and Benji Reyes and stuff like that. Come on, man. These guys don't breed bulls. If y'all want to label Bronx Red Devil as red staffs and stuff like that, I brought up nothing about the old family red. Shout out to Onslow County, man. I'm from NC the game. I'm not here to sit y'all and let y'all label Onslow County, Sneeze Fair, and Jacksonville game bred dogs, hog hunting dogs, big red staffs. That man dealt with Earl Tudor in the breedings of Red Boy, to name one, way in the back. It all goes back to staff. Yes, Hemp Hill, Mr. Hemp Hill and Mr. Tudor dealt in staffs together in the pedigrees. If it were the 20s, 30s, or the 80s, it happened. That's the origins of the game. If those guys were chasing pedigrees, y'all wouldn't have the Bass Tramp Red Bulls and the Gators to run in the ground. Y'all wouldn't have Junior to run in the ground. Come on now. It's mad stuff off of Eli. You got Molly B. You got so many dogs. The Greens, the Joe Lease had Buzzsaw. That's an Eli dog. There's so many dogs that you could have got the art without trying to run the same dogs in the ground. Thank goodness that the Oklahoma Kid and the Hensels didn't do that. Yeah, the Hensels had small little fighting dogs. They had small little fighting dogs before they came there. The American Pit Bull exists more so through the Kobe. That was the prototype for the pit fighting dog that came off the boat. Mr. Triple J, there's no denying that. There's no denying that, Mr. Triple J. So I don't have no problem with you. I'm not causing beef. And if you want to say I got a thick skull or school bus head or I'm clueless like the other guys say, but one thing about it, I got energy and feedback from y'all for a reason. Some of the things I'm saying are dead ass true, and y'all know it. Y'all are using the way of the world of deflection to let the obvious small facts override the truth, and I'm just not with it. A lot of guys just not with it, not gonna speak out. They just don't speak out. Y'all got a lot of guys on y'all line. Some of them are experienced dog man. Some of them cannot even read a pedigree. If anybody can read a pedigree that see this video, go online to APBT, online pedigrees, and look up Casey Couturier. Look up Blue Max 2, little blue game dog. That dog is Patrick and Mason bred into top staff. But this guy says, these guys say that nobody bred game staffs. Well, I guess the old teacher and Patrick, I guess they're nobody. I guess they're nobody. Y'all ain't studying Patrick breedings anyway. Most of y'all guys, y'all don't even talk about Patrick stuff unless it's off Tombstone. Another huge dog. Only thing y'all know is the Tombstone Bolio breedings that made Mayday. That's all y'all get that man credit for. Y'all need to direct the question towards the pros. Direct the ones with breeding merits. I think Patrick has breeding merits, Mr. Triple J, from the Southeast. I think Schoolboy Garcia, there's not a lot to be said when it comes to that man. That's negative in the pit game. Okay, Benji Reyes, same thing. The young guy holding the camera in the hog hunt where the dogs are in the woods actually wrecking hogs, not being talked about grazing dogs and pulling on cords and rags, which we do that too. My dog shot to me when I said that, which we do that too, you know. I don't got no spring pole or nothing about like that, but I know I got a little athlete. So to Mr. Triple J's, you know, like I said in the chat on your site, which I won't be going on again, stop chasing pedigrees, man. People don't even know the stories of all the dogs that were left in the woods with no teeth. That's sad, man, because of the outbreeding and people overbreeding. Poor little red boy, poor rascal, poor Junior, poor Bullet Son, using the exact same dogs, and the other style country boys and range riders used that same blood, got the same blood, used the blood, made well with the blood, done well with the blood, and did not have to breed a whole lot of dogs. And I salute Sammy the Arab for breeding a lot of dogs. Unlike Puny Canine say, salute Sammy the Arab. I'm not hating on you, man. Boomer looks good. Typically, among ADBA standards and of the typical dog, man, and many of your haters, that dog is not even up to standards. But great dog on the beautiful, great job on a great looking animal with his big mouth, sticking his tongue out. So just give it up, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. They're like an ambull to you. I'm not trying to prove anything. Like I said, Mr. Triple J, I am satisfied with the names that are in my dog's pedigree. Benji Reyes, Mr. Garcia, Mr. Pat, guys like that, Mr. Mason. The list goes on, know what I'm saying? So I'm cool. It ain't about, see, y'all want to do this to fancy the dogs that y'all want to fancy. Like I said before, it's undeniable. Anybody that knows dogs, it's like a guy I was talking to on your chat forum or whatever you want to call it. Come on, man. If you know pedigrees then, and you've been in the game 20 years then, what's the problem? Why y'all coming at me like that? You can't read a pedigree? All the pedigrees home? Let's be real about this now. If a dog is bred to be a pit bull by lineage and pedigree heritage, that's what that dog is. And I'm sorry about that. I guess I got to apologize for that. I got to apologize for that, for chiming in. I use people's names and stuff like that, but I'm going to make myself heard and see the game. Period. I grew up not far from Sneed's Fair, where the track champion Rutgers line, the Hemp Hill and Wilder line stems from. Come on, man. I grew up near Winterville. It's good dogs out there. Come on now. I lived in Raleigh, where Hargrove got knocked off at. You understand what I'm saying? Come on now. Like I said, the energy that I got back from everybody except for Thompson Kittles proves that I have to know something that I know what I'm talking about. Again, the first watchdog and Eli breeding was through Tabor's Rusty and Tabor's Bear. If I'm not mistaken, the bottom side dog was Tabor's Bear. That dog was grandfathered by Crutchfield and Adams Art. I repeat, that dog was grandsire by Crutchfield and Adams Art. The top side was a good sire and grandfather too, off of the watchdogs, which most of those were already Bolio bred Eli dogs. So with the insults, I'll take that. I'll take being a thick skull, Mr. Triple J. OG Master of all Bulldogs. I saw your dog. Thanks for the hint. I already tried cortisone. Of course, a natural remedy is always smarter. Thank you, brother. I know that was directed towards me too. And it's all good. Good looking bout, man. But you see my performance, athlete.